Hello, my name is Tracy Franklin. I'm the Paramedic Program Coordinator for Somerset Community College, and I hope to answer some questions that you may have about our program throughout this video. At the end of the presentation, you'll find some contact information for me, Samantha Feldman, the Clinical Coordinator, Nancy Powell, the Dean of Health Science, and Tanya Cowan, our Administrative Assistant. Any one of us can help you achieve your goal of applying to the Somerset Community College EMS Paramedic program. We run 2 new class cohorts each year. The Somerset campus cohort starts every January, and the Laurel campus cohort starts every August. Each program is 17 months in duration and runs for 4 consecutive semesters, including summer. The admissions deadline for Fall Laurel cohort is always the second week of June. The admissions deadline for the Spring Somerset cohort is always the first week of November. Check the website to see actual cutoff dates. You should be registered as a Somerset Community College student when applying for the paramedic program. Whether you choose the AAS option or the certificate option, you can finish in 17 months. General education courses are taken concurrently with EMS-specific courses. Prerequisites include biology, medical terminology, and either dosage calculations or Math 110 or higher. Each cohort has a cap of 10 students per 1 instructor. At the present time, EMS is one of the few allied healthcare professions that does not require its educational programs to be accredited. To keep pace with other health-related professions, accreditation of paramedic education programs is critical. Only 28% of states currently require national accreditation of paramedic education programs, and only about 31% of paramedic education programs in this country are accredited. Accreditation is granted to EMS education programs through the review and recommendation of the Committee on Accreditation for the Emergency Medical Service Professional, also known as COEMS. The COEMS operates under the auspice of the Commission on Accreditation of Allied Health Education Programs, also known as CAHEP. CAHEP issues accreditation to paramedic education programs. CAHEP is a nonprofit, non-governmental agency which reviews and accredits over 2,000 educational programs in 20 allied health science occupations and is the largest medical accrediting agency in the United States. The primary purpose of program accreditation is student and public protection. This is achieved by providing an independent, external, objective peer review of institutional and/or programmatic quality as compared with accepted national standards. This protects the students' investment in their education by ensuring that they graduate from a quality program and that instructors possess adequate qualifications to teach and the necessary academic credentials. Accreditation protects the public by ensuring that they receive a minimum standard of care by individuals who are properly trained. In 2017, the Somerset Community College EMS Paramedic program gained its initial accreditation with 0 violations. In 2013, the National Association of Emergency Medical Technicians amended the original EMT oath that was penned by Dr. Charles Gillespie. We have adopted this amended code of ethics as our program philosophy, and it reads as such: to conserve life, alleviate suffering, promote health, do no harm, and encourage the quality and equal availability of emergency medical care, to provide services based on human need with compassion and respect for human dignity, unrestricted by consideration of nationality, race, creed, color, or status, to not judge the merits of the patient's request for service nor allow the patient's socioeconomic status to influence our demeanor or the care that we provide. To not use professional knowledge and skills in any enterprise detrimental to public well-being. To respect and hold in confidence all information of a confidential nature obtained in the course of professional services unless required by law to divulge such information. To use social media in a responsible and professional manner that does not discredit, dishonor, or embarrass an EMS organization, co-workers, or other healthcare practitioners, patients, individuals, or the community at large. To maintain professional competence, striving always for clinical excellence in the delivery of patient care. To assume responsibility in upholding standards of professional practice and education. To assume responsibility for individual professional actions and judgment, both in dependent and independent emergency functions, and to know and uphold the laws which affect the practice of EMS. To be aware of and participate in matters of legislation and regulation affecting EMS. To work cooperatively in EMS associates and other allied healthcare professionals in the best interest of our patients. To refuse participation in unethical procedures and assume the responsibility to expose incompetence or unethical conduct of others to the appropriate authority in a proper and professional manner. If you agree with these code of ethics as outlined, then Somerset Community College EMS Paramedic program is the right program for you. This is the Star of Life. The 6 points of the Star of Life each have a special meaning. The serpent and staff in the symbol portray the staff of Asclepius. Asclepius is an ancient Greek physician defined as the god of medicine. The staff represents medicine and healing, with the snake skin shedding being indicative of renewal. Each of the star's arms mean the following: detection, reporting, response, on-scene care, care in transport, and transfer to definitive care. These are all integral parts of a whole. The Star of Life is the universal symbol of emergency medical care. We place it on our ambulances, on our uniforms, on our trauma bags and medical bags, and sometimes our personal vehicles. And most of us have at least one t-shirt with the symbol on it. It can also be found on road maps and highway signs indicating the location of or access to qualified emergency medical care. The Somerset Community College EMS Paramedic program has adopted the following 9 student learning outcomes. Provide safe and sufficient care within the legal and ethical scope of practice for the paramedic and assume accountability for their actions and the actions of subordinates. Distinguish and use communication that is appropriate amongst healthcare practitioners, individuals, groups, and populations encountered in the emergency medical field. Interpret and analyze assessment findings to formulate clinical judgments regarding individuals requiring emergency intervention, their families, and defined population across the lifespan. Utilize critical thinking processes and problem-solving skills to effectively prioritize management of individuals in an emergency setting to achieve the most positive outcome. Manage the direct provision of emergency care through the effective organizational skills, appropriate delegation, and supervision within the scope of practice. Reflect integrity, responsibility, ethical practices, and an evolving identity as a paramedic committed to the excellence in delivery of emergency care aimed at limiting morbidity and mortality. recognize changes in the patient's response to care, as well as special situations that occur in the emergency environment, and be able to initiate appropriate changes in care or transport. Use information and technology to communicate, manage knowledge, mitigate error, and support decision making. Value continuous learning within the paramedic profession. These outcomes are embedded in every aspect of the program, from fundamental understanding to summative evaluation. We attempt to construct a more holistic lesson by using all three domains in constructive learning tasks. The head aspect represents cognition, knowledge, understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, and creation. The hand aspect represents psychomotor ability, reflex and perceptual movement, fundamental movements, physical abilities, skilled movements, and communication. The heart aspect represents effective behavior, attention, acquiescence, acceptance of value, organization, and characterization. This diversity helps to create a more well-rounded learning experience and meets a number of learning styles and learning modalities. Using more diversity in delivering a lesson allows students to create a more neutral network and pathway, thus aiding recall of information. We create our lessons from the National EMS Educational Standards and Instructional Guidelines. Students have access to these guidelines from the first day of class. We believe this is one thing that helps our students progress confidently throughout the program. Beginning August 1st, 2016, all students who begin a paramedic education program are required to complete a psychomotor competency portfolio. FISDAP accreditation package helps our students complete the necessary laboratory, clinical, and field internship documents necessary to meet the National Registry Psychomotor Portfolio. The FISDAP package is used for almost every portion of the program, from scheduling shifts to entering skills to taking timed, proctored, computer-based examinations. Here you see the EMS Paramedic Program overview. On the front, you can find basic technical standards required for successful course completion, as well as faculty information, career information, and graduation statistics. The back of the program flyer compares to the certificate program with the Associates in Applied Science program. If the certificate program is chosen, then the Associates in Applied Science degree can be completed at a later date. We offer the AAS degree completion to those paramedics who currently hold national or Kentucky licensure. This program flyer can be found on the Somerset Community College website under Academics, then Programs of Study, and then under EMS Paramedic. As mentioned earlier, prerequisites for both certificate and associate in applied science degree include medical terminology, biology, and math. Whether you apply for fall or spring, your semester outline will follow this sequence. First semester will include Introduction to Paramedicine, concurrently with Emergency Pharmacology, Fundamentals Lab, and students begin clinical experience in their first semester. Second semester, we study cardiology, traumatic emergencies, EMS operations. We will continue in the laboratory with cardiac and trauma lab skills, and we will also continue our clinical experience. The third semester encompasses medical emergencies, special patient populations, This is also the final semester for medical lab training and clinical experience. The fourth semester is a seminar in advanced life support where students have the opportunity to complete ACLS and PAL certification and PHTLS certification. And then we begin field internship. Field internship classes are broken down into two separate evaluative forms. EMS 2851, student is required to complete 25 ALS contacts as a team member. In EMS 2852, students are required to complete 50 ALS contacts as the team leader. The Kentucky Board of EMS defines the parameters for a qualified paramedic student through administrative regulation. A qualified student needs to meet the following criteria. Students should be eligible to enroll if the applicant is at least 18 years of age, holds a high school diploma or GED, understands, reads, speaks, and writes the English language with a comprehension and performance level equal to at least the 9th grade of education, otherwise known as Level 4. This can be verified by testing if necessary. A qualified applicant must hold a current unrestricted certification as an EMT basic in Kentucky or hold a current unrestricted registration with the National Registry as an NREMTB. Qualified applicants cannot currently be subject to disciplinary action pursuant to KRS Chapter 311A that would prevent licensure, must meet all additional requirements established by the EMS TEI, and must hold a valid motor vehicle operator's license from a state or territory of the United States. If you meet this criteria, then you need to register as a Somerset Community College student through the online application process. Choose Paramedic pending when given the plan of study option on the application. Then you'll need to complete placement testing if you do not have ACT or SAT scores that can be sent to the college. Once your application is complete and all transcripts and test scores have been submitted, you'll want to register for prerequisite courses listed on the plan of study that you will be following, either degree or certificate. After that, please complete the point system application, the letter of intent, and return all necessary documents to me. You can mail the documents to Somerset Community College, or you can bring them to my office either on the Somerset South Campus or the Laurel North Campus. The applicants are vetted through a selective admissions process. The point system used for this is located on the Somerset Community College website under Academics, and then choose Programs of Study, and then choose EMS Paramedic. You can receive points for GED scores or high school GPA, ACT or SAT scores, Compass scores less than 5 years old, previous successful college courses with a C or above, the number of years of EMT service, the number of years of military service, successful completion of fitness courses, and additional licensures or memberships that reflect professional EMS standards. As often as possible, we try to keep abreast of any scholarship information that is beneficial to our program students. You can find the scholarship opportunities on the Somerset Community College website or through the Financial Aid Office. Listed here are some scholarships that are available through March and April. Most specialty programs have additional costs that are not widely advertised. On the Somerset Community College website, under Academics, then Programs of Study, and then looking under EMS Paramedic, You will find an actual price list of additional costs that you will be responsible for as a student. We use FSDAP accreditation package. Purchasing directly from the company is oftentimes cheaper than using the bookstore, but you cannot use financial aid money with this option. You will pay a one-time fee and you will use the FSDAP account throughout each component of the program. We use a company that maintains health science student immunizations, background checks, and drug screens. Students must pay for this account. The account is not covered by financial aid. And there is also an annual account renewal fee for every year enrolled in the program. Part of being in the clinical and field setting is patient care. This is why you're required to purchase liability insurance while you're a student. The fee is very little, but the policy is extremely beneficial. Textbook prices are listed in the bookstore website. Sometimes students can find books cheaper on other websites or even from program graduates. Uniform prices will vary depending on the brand of uniform pants and the shirt that you choose. All uniform shirts will come from Sergeant Joe's in Somerset. They are the only vendor approved to embroider our logo. Upon graduation, you will be responsible for testing fees and licensure fees. Psychomotor testing fees vary by location, and these are posted on the National Registry website. There is a time commitment to any health science program. For the EMS paramedic program specifically, for every 1 hour student spends in lecture with the instructor, there is approximately 4 hours of independent study outside of class time. You have approximately 9 hours of classroom or lab time each week, about 12 hours of clinical time each week, and there is 17 consecutive months of lecture, lab, clinical, and field internship and summation. Make sure before you join the program that you have the support of your family, support of your employer, and the dedication and motivation to complete the program. This is a list of current clinical and field internship sites that hold contracts with our program. There is travel required to complete your clinical and field internship. Student must take this into consideration when applying for the program. Also, students need to consider that meetings can occur during institutional closings and holidays, and there is a mandatory orientation prior to the first day of the semester. This orientation often falls the week before actual classes begin on campus. And as promised, you will see here a list of program contact information. Again, my name is Tracy Franklin. I am the Paramedic Program Coordinator for Somerset Community College EMS Paramedic Program. Samantha Feldman is the Clinical Coordinator and Laurel County Instructor for the EMS Paramedic Program. Nancy Powell is the Dean of Health Science. Tanya Cowan is the Health Science Administrative Assistant for the Paramedic Program. Please feel free to contact any of us, and we will be happy to help you complete the application process for the Paramedic Program. Thank you for your time.